Okay, welcome to the deep dive.
Glad to be here.
Today we're looking at a specific source. It's an abstract from an aviation research conference.
Right. And it's all about using drones for airport inspections.
Exactly. Airports, I mean, they're these massive, complex places needing constant checks, right? Runways, buildings, fences.
Everything. And the old ways, they can be slow, costly, disruptive, sometimes even a bit risky for the inspectors.
So our mission today, just using what's in this abstract, is to really unpack how useful and maybe more importantly, how effective drones are supposed to be for this job.
Let's get into it. The source really emphasizes the sheer variety of tasks drones can tackle. It's not just, one thing.
Go at what specifically, where do they start?
Well, first up, the core operations.
Right.
Runways and taxiways.
Right.
The abstract says drones can check the surfaces, the markings, the lighting, signs, and crucially, scan for any foreign object debris, FOD.
FOD detection, that's a big one. Finding a loose bolt or something before it causes damage.
Exactly. Huge safety factor. But it's not just the pavement.
No. What else?
It talks about buildings, too, terminals, hangars, inspecting roofs, walls, windows, doors.
Standard stuff, okay.
But here's something interesting. It also mentions checking internal systems, like fire safety, ventilation, maybe even electrical wiring.
Whoa, hold on. Internal checks from a drone. That suggests some pretty advanced sensors, or maybe flying inside.
The abstract points to that capability, yeah. It really broadens the scope of their usefulness.
Okay, and airports have miles of fences. Security must be mentioned.
Definitely. It's highlighted. Patrolling the perimeter fence, looking for breaches, intrusions, also monitoring access points, gates, vehicles moving around, basically adding eyes in the sky for security teams.
That makes sense. What about the environment? Airports always have ecological concern.
That's covered too. Environmental monitoring. Things like surveying wildlife nearby. Birds for strike risk management.
Right. Bird strikes, always a concern.
And also measuring noise levels, air quality, water quality impact. So a really wide spectrum of uses described.
That's quite a list of what they can do. But let's pivot to our main focus. How effective does the abstract say they are? What are the advantages?
Right, the effectiveness question. The source is pretty clear here. It boils down to three main benefits: saving time and money, improving accuracy and the quality of the data, and boosting safety and security.
Okay, let's unpack those. How do they save time and money?
Well, think about inspecting huge areas or places that are hard to reach. Drones can often do it much faster and therefore cheaper than sending people up scaffolding or using specialized vehicles.
And less disruption, I imagine.
Exactly. That's a key point in the abstract. Less need for things like full runway closures. That saves airlines and the airport a lot of operational headaches and cost. Real effectiveness there.
Okay, big tick for efficiency. What about the quality of the inspection? Are they actually better?
The source argues they improve accuracy. They capture high-resolution images, video, other kinds of data.
Digital records.
Precisely. Detailed, consistent digital records you can analyze, compare over time. Potentially more thorough or objective than just visual checks by eye.
I can see that. And the safety angle. You mentioned that too.
Yes, enhancing safety. Two ways, really. First, less human exposure to hazards. No need for people to walk on busy taxiways unnecessarily or climb high structures.
Reduces risk for staff. Makes sense.
And second, for security, that real-time aerial view improves how quickly you can spot and react to threats or incidents. More effective situational awareness.
So the overall picture from this abstract is pretty positive then.
It seems so. It concludes that, with good planning and execution, these drones can be genuinely effective and efficient tools for all these varied airport tasks.
Okay, so stepping back, what does this one abstract suggest about the bigger picture here?
Well, it suggests drones aren't just a minor add-on. They offer this whole suite of capabilities, getting to tricky spots, capturing detailed data, continuous monitoring. It really points towards a future where automation and remote inspection could significantly transform how we manage operations in these really complex, large-scale places like airports.
a glimpse into a potentially very different way of keeping airports running smoothly and safely. Something for you to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure.